really wish I wasn't so polite, because I would really just like to just say all those actual things.
You're not always polite. Beth, learn.
Rude.
Okay.
Welcome to Fit2B Radio. Slip on your minimal sneakers, notch your headphones into your ears, tuck your smartphone into your pocket, and take us along for a walk while we talk. Or just grab a cup of your favorite drink and get on the floor and stretch a bit while we bring you all things fitness, core, and diastases recti related.
Wow. What do we call this, Beth? Fit2B Radio. Hey everybody, welcome to Fit2B Radio. My name is Chris Behnke, and I'm here with Beth Learn, who is the founder of Fit2B Studio, and she is a super fitness person, does all sorts of things. She's also a friend to many people. And we also have as a guest someone that's very, very cool. Her name is Alice Behnke. I think she's wonderful. She's an author and a musician, and she is not my sister. She is my hot wife. She's also a co-founder of Fit2B with us way back in the beginning. And I'm super glad she could join us for this podcast. Today, we wanted to dig into something that I think people might not always connect with fitness. It's actually very connected. And we just wanted to have an honest, open discussion about friendship and how it ties into fitness, which is a little bit strange. And yes, I have a baseball cap on and a jacket, and I'm sitting outside on a nice fall day, so that's pretty cool. But anyway, enough about that. Let's talk about friendship. So Beth, Alice, you guys were friends since you were about 2.5 feet tall. Is that correct?
Maybe 3 feet.
3 feet. Okay, 3 feet.
Yeah. We go way back.
Way back. So tell me about that. Just let's get a little background. How did you guys meet? How do you know each other? How did this all happen?
Well, we met in Sunday school at our church. And yeah, well, you know, it's like all things when you're little, you're more friends because your parents are friends or your parents work together.
Yeah.
And then just over the years, we've gotten closer. And then my husband is also part of the family now. So I kind of married into it. And then through running Fit2B, we've gotten even closer.
Yeah. And so you guys have been friends for a long time.
Yes.
Alice, what do you think about Bethany? What did you think about Beth way back in the day when you were just becoming friends?
Be honest. Go ahead.
I was mostly homeschooled, and I was always needing friends because, you know, when you're homeschooled, you don't get the same everyday action with other kids as if you were in a regular school. So
yeah.
I think there were some periods in Beth's life where she was also homeschooled. So I think we were kind of on the same page a lot. Beth was bossy when she was little. She was bossy. But I was very laid back kid, so it worked out fine. We both really, really enjoyed baby dolls and playing with dolls. And
yes, we did.
Outside, we loved to play outside. And we saw each other weekly at church functions, and anyway, stayed in touch even though she went off to college for a period of time, and we saw each other periodically. And anyways, she ended up meeting my cousin, and they started dating and ended up getting married, and we were in each other's weddings. And anyway, so it's just kind of and the story of our lives to just keep going.
Yep.
So I think a lot of people that are listening to this podcast may be entrepreneurs. Sometimes they may be interested in fitness. They may be interested in business. And I think a lot of times people find themselves in business with their friends, which can end badly. It ends badly a lot, but also can go awesome, mostly. And I think that's what's happened with us. But I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think? Like, how has that worked? Fit2B's been running for 7 years now. And Beth, you said our friendship has grown during that time. Like, let's talk about that for a minute, because I think people are interested. How does that happen? Because most of the time when you go to business with friends, it actually ends friendships.
Yeah, and I've experienced that. Even within Fit2B, we've partnered with a couple other friends and had it go sideways. But the key factor, I think, in that is respect. Like, I have a lot of respect for both of you, and I know you respect me, and there's a lot of communication that happens, and we all have the same goal, and we have really similar values too. And that all helps. Our priorities are similar. When it comes to family and business and faith and all that, there's a good meshing that happens, and there's not competition between us. So we didn't set it up so that our businesses got a massive hierarchy. So there's a lot of equal footing, which is, I think, really good.
Yeah. Alice, what do you think? Because you've been, so a lot of times Beth and I are working on things and we try to pull you in, like, I don't know, hey, can you do a podcast in 30 minutes and talk about friendship? And so you get kind of drug along sometimes by a couple of builders. How do you think, how do you feel about it? How have you experienced it?
Well, I think that you have to be very flexible and not, I mean, just know that everybody in the family is a part of the family business. So you just roll with it, and everybody has different parts and personalities, and they, for ways that they can contribute. So, I mean, with two builder type personalities, I mean, I think if I was more of a builder personality, this just probably couldn't work.
Well, for everybody watching, like, if you've done our workouts, what's in the sets is often Alice's designs, and I consult with her a lot on what I wear, and she's done my makeup a lot. You can always tell when I've done my makeup versus her, because I actually love when she does it, as opposed to like a clown. So, and then she contributed the lesson on fashion and beauty for our Fit2B Girls course.
Yeah.
She's really good at those kind of things. Me, I'm happy in frumpy sweats.
Yeah.
Right. And Alice is like beautiful, put together. You know, I love her because she helps me find things. I'm like, hey, this, and she's all, no. And then she holds up things like this, and I'm going, oh, really? Really? Yes. And she's always right.
Yeah. So it sounds like what you guys are saying is, if you're going to make something like this work, it's important you have similar values. It's important you understand each other, that you have very clear lines of how things are going to work, is at least as clear as possible, and that you have a lot of grace with each other as you're building a business. And I think that one of the most difficult things for people to do when they're starting a business with friends is make clear lines, because they're friends and they don't want to make lines. They don't think they need lines. And you don't usually need lines with friendship. Usually, sometimes, but not always, but not usually. But when you start a business, you need lines.
Yeah, there needs to be things in writing, and we put things in writing from the very beginning, and we go back to the things in writing, and we adjust the things that are in writing. We've done that multiple times. Yeah. Just whenever there's a need for clarity, and really, I look at those things as healthy boundaries, because it's like, well, here's what we wrote, because sometimes we forget. It's like, wait, what did we say? Oh yeah, no, we did agree on that. Okay, that's what we agreed on. Here we go. And that again goes back to respect. Is we're going to respect what we put forward. We're going to respect what was put in writing. And the only time it's gone sideways is with other people is when they have not respected what was put in writing, and they they're going to branch out and do their own thing, and they don't care about what was written. They're just going to run the risk of losing the friendship and losing the business and losing that relationship, and that's really sad. Yeah,
and it's about good communication too, because you never, when you start a business, know everything you need to know. So you can't ever have clear enough writing because you don't know yet.
Right.
So it's super important to have good communication as you go along, because as you discover things need to change. And if you don't have great communication and you just start changing things on your own, it turns into a train wreck. So don't do that. So, but wait a second, this podcast is usually about health and fitness in some way, usually tied into fitness. And we said we wanted this podcast to be about friendship and fitness. And I'm curious how you're going to tie that together, Beth.
Well, me and Alice like to walk together. We do a lot of walking,
Mm-hmm.
but like every time we get together and film, pretty much, I mean, as much as we can, I think we always end up going for a walk. And I think that's the easiest way for friends to connect is just go for a walk.
Yeah. Yeah. You really, you can talk about a lot of different things for sure. And as you're exercising, you totally don't even realize you've done like 6 miles already.
Yeah, we solve all the world problems, all our kids' problems, and all the problems with our
Yep.
and we work out at the same time.
And maybe you don't get so testy in tense situation because you're really working it out aggression-wise as you're walking.
Yeah, we can speed up and down. Yeah,
you're taking it out on the pavement.
Right. We've done a race together. 2 races? 1 race? 2. We've done 2. We've done Cascade Lakes Relay twice together. Once with another team, and then once as our own Fit2B team. And that was really cool. That was fun.
Yeah.
Alice does not enjoy being in a van with people for that long. I do.
Yeah. Well, there's positives, I suppose. We did Mount Bachelor this summer.
Yes, we did. We climbed Mount Bachelor. My husband and Chris are good friends, and they ski together a lot. We went to Whistler, and me and Chris and Pete skied together. Alice went shopping. That was good fun for her. She got her exercise walking around.
Yeah, the old ski boots, they caused me to become claustrophobic immediately after putting them on.
Yeah.
So.
They have a way of doing that. They're kind of restrictive and painful and not enjoyable to wear.
Yeah. They're torturous. I hate them.
Which is why they invented snowboarding.
I guess.
So one of the things I was thinking about when we were talking about doing a kind of an odd podcast about friendship and fitness is, I think in today's culture, we don't spend enough time investing in friends. We are very busy. We're kept very busy by all of the things that we feel like we have to do. If we have kids, that's amplified even more because we have to make sure they're doing all the things that we think they need to do. So we run and run and run and run and run. And we don't invest in relationships. We just don't. We think we do. And Alice calls it the 5-minute or 1 minute or 30-second friendship pump, where you bump into somebody and you say, oh, hey, I'm glad to see you. How are things going? They're going great. Oh, good. We should get together. And then you don't. And we've replaced that with honest, meaningful relationships. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's a lot of energy out there behind make sure you take time for your fitness and your exercise, which we don't always do a good job with that, but there's awareness of it. Mm-hmm. And there's not a lot of awareness of make sure you take time and invest it in relationships.
Well, and it speaks to emotional health and social health and mental health, which are 3 separate things that are part of the paradigm and paradox of, and pyramid, really all those 3 words of making a healthy life. And I think, why not exercise with a friend? You get 2 things in at once.
Right. And I think that when you guys were talking about that, and Allison, you mentioned the walks and climbing Bachelor, and Bethany's talking about these races that we've done, I think that's where people don't get outside the box. And if they did a little bit, they could do both. They could really invest in their health and their fitness and invest in relationships by doing a little bit of extra work and coordinating, doing some of that stuff with friends.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be some regimen where you go to the gym 3 times a week with your friend and do X, Y, and Z and spot each other on the weights. That's great and everything. But, you know, you can call someone up and go for a walk and get outside, and that's very healthy for both your relationship and for your body. And I think I wish there was more of a focus on that simple thing.
Well, we're focusing on it right now. And when you said focus, and that makes me think of, you know, being intentional. Mm-hmm. And I know, like, even with as good of friends as you and I are, Alice, we still have to be intentional with our friendship.
Yeah.
like choosing, like, I mean, I know exactly like where our friendship is at, but it's still good. You know, pick up the phone and actually call instead of just always texting. I say that to myself. I'm not telling you, pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
So what does
There's
that look
a
like?
difference between.
What does that look like, Alice? Like, what does that look like for you? I know you do that with people, you know, here in our community sometimes. What does that look like?
What does what look like?
What does it look like when you are intentional about investing in a relationship while also getting some exercise, getting some fitness in?
Well, I think it starts with picking somebody who you would like to build a relationship with, or that you already, have one going and you just want to do maintenance on that. And
Yep.
and just asking them if they would do it with you, and then just trying to do your best to hold them accountable to getting out there with you. Maybe even singling out like 2 or 3 people, because I mean, a lot of times things come up and cancellations happen, and it can be frustrating to try to get the same person that keeps canceling on you all the time out for exercise. But if you have a couple of people in mind to just, do it, try doing a couple of different friends maybe once a week if it's possible.
Yeah.
And then if a cancellation happens, it happens, and it's not, you still have like maybe a backup or something.
Yeah.
I think it provides some good structure too when you have friends that are providing an event and accountability and an activity and an outing. So that's all of those things wrapped into one. And I know that I can be the flaky person sometimes. Like, I can be the one that's like, ugh, something came up, or the kids, there's a lot that you can't control.
Yeah.
Remember that time that we were with, it was actually new friends. I hadn't met your friends, but you wanted us all to go out, and we ended up going bowling. And I think that too was so fun, but it also gave us something physical to all do together. And it was really low key. It didn't force us to all sit and have these deep conversations right away. Physical activity is a great way to get to know people, like going for a hike, taking a whole group for a hike. It's a great icebreaker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then if you don't end up liking the people, you could just, walk ahead or behind.
Poke them with a stick.
This is boring. I'm out of here.
Yeah. So you're saying it actually makes you go faster when you go with a group of people that.
Yeah, it'll give you an out.
So it sounds like what I hear both of you saying, and it's kind of what I believe too, is that you really do need, if you want to have deep and meaningful relationships, it's got to be deeper than text. It's got to be deeper than social media. You have to invest. Just like if you want to be healthy, you have to invest. You have to exercise. You have to eat right. You have to take care of yourself. And I also heard you guys say you should never use one for an excuse to not do the other. So you should never use the I can't get out because it's raining today to not pick up the phone and call the friend because you were going to go on a walk. And you should not sacrifice the walk because someone cancels on you last minute. That's what I heard. Is that what you just said?
No, that does happen. And if that does happen, pick back up and do something different, or do your own thing, or do it tomorrow. I think a lot of people get bogged down in, I failed, I messed up, I didn't my walk, I stink, I'm a failure, I quit fitness.
Yeah,
don't do that.
Yeah.
That's true. That's always true with life. So anyway, I think this has been a fun little podcast on friendship and fitness and tying it all together. It's what I really like about these podcasts is we dig into all sorts of things that are practical that people are really dealing with. We don't talk about lofty, strange medical things. We'll tie that stuff in where it's appropriate. We don't talk about silly things that don't matter just because it's humorous, but we try to tie humor in. And I really love how the podcast is turning out. If this is the first podcast that you've heard, you've got to subscribe to our podcast. You should also subscribe to our YouTube channel. You should check out our website, which is fit2b.com, FIT, the number 2, the letter B.com. Check it out. It's amazing. Beth mentioned a course that we just released recently called Fit2B Girls. It's a course designed for young girls to learn about themselves. You should check that out as well. Alice is an author in that course. Beth is an author in that course, as well as several other experts that are amazing. So check that stuff out. We've got tons of free resources on our website. Visit that. And until next time, you guys go make some friends. Call the friends that you know you need to call. And also go for a walk at the same time. That's what you need to do. That's your homework. And until next time, stay safe out there.
Bye, Alice.